Up next, how to hire the right fit. Hiring the right fit employee can make or break your company, and while you might want to duplicate yourself, think again. You might not be the best fit for the job at hand. Now, before you quickly and hastily try to recruit somebody for your team, take a moment. Take a moment to determine just how much your hiring process costs you. Consider your interviewing time, advertisement costs, salary. It's no wonder that business owners want to be more diligent in evaluating their new hires. And if that person turns out to be a mismatch for the position, you will eat through any return on investment that you might get through your costs in training and even coaching them. Take a moment to calculate your following costs. Number one, advertisements or postings. Calculate the amount of time that you spend both on advertising and posting your opening. Number two, your time. Calculate the amount of time you spend on those tasks that you're currently doing that could be delegated, because the more that you procrastinate on hiring somebody, the more that this cost will add up. Number three, interviewing. Calculate the amount of time for just the top 3 candidates that you interview. So if you interview for an hour, times your hourly rate. So 3 times, if it's 3 hours that you spend, times your hourly rate. If your other team members are involved in interviewing, then calculate their time. And number 4, onboarding. Calculate the amount of time that you spend training a new team member. Once you add up all of the costs, you can see just how much you spend on your hiring process. My profitability lab clients are always surprised at their findings. The cost to hire fell between $5,500 and $15,000. Now, those costs to hire can be a major hit to your bottom line, right? And when you consider these costs, you want to make sure that your selection process is well defined. There are ways to improve the odds of a good fit for your new team member. It's possible to consistently hire the best person for the job. Now, regardless if you're hiring a new graduate, a seasoned employee, or an independent contractor, hiring and attracting the best fit is a matter of understanding the work requirements for the position, right? Well, no. Believe it or not, hiring involves more than understanding the work requirements for the position. You can try different people in a particular job until you find the one that's the perfect fit, but let's face it, that's costly. To have a distinct advantage in hiring the best fit, you want to develop a process that includes identifying the key task performed by the position. So if there's multiple people involved in the hiring process, it's helpful to define those key tasks and the skill set that would best fit that particular position. Number 2, you want to identify 3 to 5 performance metrics. Why? Because one of the first things you will do is evaluate how that person is performing in the first 30 days. And in order to provide relevant feedback, it's necessary to know how that person will be evaluated when that time comes. Identify those objective, measurable items. And here's another reason why you want to do this. Your new employee will want to know what's expected of them too. And number 3, identify how you need the position to be executed. The right job cannot be defined simply in terms of education, training, knowledge, or work experience that's required. For many jobs, those are important considerations, but not the only ones. What makes a particular position the right fit is when you match the individual's innate wiring with the drivers which the job itself demands for effective performance. For example, a sales manager who had the requisite experience, education, and training was transferred from an existing business line where he cultivated long-term relationships with vendors to a brand new division where he needed to, everything needed to be developed from the ground floor. The nature of the job was to grow this brand new division from scratch. The sales manager was naturally wired to improve existing systems And despite him trying really, really hard, he was a heart attack waiting to happen. In this example, he brought the right experience and knowledge to do the job, but something was missing. The job required someone to react quickly and adjust to changing conditions, as well as develop practical ideas. The job also required a decision maker to quickly build an organization, apply pressure for results, and in a more selling than telling way. The sales manager executed the tasks, though, in a very methodical way and depended on a structure which didn't yet exist. So the way he innately wanted to execute the requirements of the job to get results were completely opposite of what the job required. And regardless of how much money he was paid or how great a job seemed relative to his experience, he wanted out. The business was also suffering from missed deadlines as well. For business owners, matching the environment for the position with a candidate's natural wiring before making the offer can really make a difference between success or failure on the job. Natural wiring tells us the environment in which someone thrives. Confirming how the position needs to be executed and matching the position with the candidate's natural wiring, their thinking processes, their communication preferences, their work style, how they're best engaged in decision making, all of that enables employers to custom fit a candidate to a job that naturally motivates them to succeed. To learn more about your and your team's natural wiring, attend our upcoming Wired to Win workshop. More on the link below. Thanks, and until next week, create a great life. Bye now.